I'm making my way to the big bad Pearse Street. Supposedly, it's the big bad Pearse Street, so let's see what's happening there. So behind me is the Bord Gáis Energy Theatre. The sorting office is back up there. And then there's just more apartment blocks and office blocks. But this leads up away from the docks to Pearse Street, which would be an area that has a bit of a reputation for drug dealing or antisocial behaviour. That's what you'll see on Reddit and the news sometimes, maybe. But you'll see it online. But I've been on Pearse Street many times. I've never seen much or any of that. But we'll take a walk just to see, mainly because I'm walking back in towards the city. I was going to get the bus, but it's a nice, brisk summer's evening, so I might as well walk along and show you a bit of Dublin. And you can judge for yourself how things are. And of course, yes, it is daytime. People say come back at night. It's a residential area, really. I'm not going to come back and walk around the housing estate at night. It'd be a bit strange. Or like residential street. And then same with Talbot Street in Dublin. Everyone says go at night. I was there Saturday night on a night out. I'm not going to bring my camera because I'll lose it, not because I'll be robbed. And it's no hassle once again. But that doesn't say nothing happens. The sun. So, Pearse Street was renamed in 1919, I think. 1919, 1920 was a book I was reading recently, by the Dublin Corporation, Dublin Council, because the Sinn Féin had took over most local government and national governments through elections at that time, so they started to rename streets even then. The reason it was obviously renamed Pearse Street was because William and Patrick Pearse grew up on the street closer to the city centre. I've never seen this park before. It's like a little dog park. Well, there's dogs in there, so I'm assuming that's a dog park. Don't know what that's called. But yeah, Pearse Street has a bit of notoriety, I suppose. But this is like an old Georgian square, so you can see, or Victorian maybe, the old houses, and then set along the open park plan. I'm not an architecture person, so I don't know much history of buildings. I know like what happened in them, but not of when they were built. So someone else might see that park, but either Georgian or Victorian style. So it was when they started kind of building homes for people to be able to actually enjoy themselves and not just work themselves to death. And it would have been probably wealthy people who worked on the docks, or like were owners of the docks. So what you have here, this is where one of the last provisional IRA members of from Dublin Brigade died during the Troubles. It was his name was Martin Doherty. He was an IRA man and a volunteer, an IRA man and a bouncer in the bar, which was once here. This is now a cafe, but you can see just up, there's up here, Martin Doherty, who was killed by the UVF on the 21st of May 1994. He died heroically in the defence of others. So the UVF were trying to plant a bomb. I think it was Pater Scanley's, I can't remember the name of the pub off the top of my head, but it was Pater Scanley's, or something Scanlan. I can't remember that off the top of my head. But the UVF were trying to plant a bomb. They noticed a couple of lads had a backpack and they were doing something suspicious, so Martin Doherty stopped it, and he was shot by the fellas trying to plant the bomb, but he was shot but they weren't able to get the bomb inside. And there was another bouncer who was shot in the neck, but they'd got everyone inside. So everyone was saved, except Martin Doherty died. And he was also a member of the Provisional IRA. So he was one of the last, if not the last, Provisional IRA men to die towards the last couple of years of the conflict. Now we'll do, and across the street, which we'll have a look at in a minute, is the Pearse Bar, which was where the bar relocated. So either I can't remember whether they sold it because of the shooting or they just wanted to relocate. But it was called Patrick Scanlon's, I think. But Pearse Museum was then, or Pearse Bar was set up then after that. But we'll walk through a little bit of the side streets off Pearse Street, see if there's anything exciting happening. Sorry, I know I fudged that story up there with Martin Doherty because I cannot remember the name of the bloody bar. But it relocated just across the road to one of the last early bars in Dublin. And I have a big mural to him inside, and it's like Republican paraphernalia and stuff. Good bar though, and the pints are cheap. But we'll take a walk up there now. So these are just some of the side roads off of Pearse Street. I don't know what that is, the Verve. A shopping area or something. Leo Fitzgerald House. So apartment blocks, they're like the council ones I was talking about. Actually a much quicker walk back into town than I thought. I thought it was a longer walk. Let me cross. But yeah, as you can see, everyone's just leaving work. It's about 6 in the evening. So there's the bar I'm going to show you, and then I'll show you the library. I won't go inside, but Pearse Street Library has the head of Admiral Nelson. So Nelson's pillar was blown up in 1966 by the IRA. Mainly, almost entirely demolished. But to finish it off, the Irish Army then blew up the rest of it. Somehow his head ended up in the museum. So that wasn't destroyed, someone picked it up. And it ended up in the museum. And I think it's on the 2nd floor. But obviously people will be inside, so I'm not going to go in. So that is Patrick Pearse Bar. So that's where it relocated. The Paddy Scanlon Bar relocated after Martin Doherty's death. And then in here in the Pearse Street Library is where Nelson's head is located. So the remains of the attack in 1960. It's in this library. And also in that library on Saturday mornings there is a free Spanish language exchange. So you just show up and start speaking Spanish. So that's every Saturday. As far as I remember, I haven't gone in a while. Oh, we got something's happening on Pearse Street. Oh, something went on fire. a restaurant, I think. 2 fire trucks. That's a bit of a disaster for whoever lives there or whoever works there. The restaurant all burnt.
We still enjoyed it.
I hope. Looks like the kitchen's been all good. I hope. I think it looks like there's people living upstairs, or like it looks like apartments, so hopefully they're not affected. That'd be a bit of a pain. The lads are bringing out bits of, looks like kitchen unit. But whatever lights. But yeah, that's just a walk up Pearse Street back into the city centre. Now, not a whole lot. I actually just finished off outside Patrick Pearse's home, just so you know where it is if you're coming from the city centre. It's not far from Pearse Street Garda Station or Trinity College. It's a little museum now, but usually it's actually functions are held there. But it was a home place of Patrick and Willie Pearse. That's where the street got its name. That's Pearse Street Station behind me. But as you can see, no one tried to rob me or sell me drugs. But it is also a Monday evening, so it could be a time for a siesta. Well, I hope you do enjoy my little walk and talking tour. Sorry, I'll spin this around so you don't see my face all the time. I actually think I was a little further down from the Pearse Museum than I thought, but we'll walk on up. Yeah, not much history that I know of the street except Patrick and Willie Pearse connection. And then that was renamed in either 1919 or 1920. There was at least a vote then. I'm not sure if it passed until after the Civil War, but I think it did. They were working on renaming buildings. And then also, boom, red. Take a run across. So, like I said before, be mindful of traffic lights in Dublin and the traffic, because you can technically go, but if you're not used to it, you might get caught. There's a church here with some old headstones that I wanted to check out. So we'll go and explore this one together. This is St. Mark's Church car park. I don't know if there's any history to this place, but some old headstones where they took them up. So the car park would obviously be on an old, on the graveyard really. I don't even know, I don't know if this was a Catholic church or a Protestant church. All the names are gone. So it's hard to see. Aged 62 maybe. But see, sadly, behind each of the headstones is bloody tents, homeless people. unfortunately must have to use it to obviously keep their things safe. Sacred to the memory of John Rowland of Bran, the parish of Penyed in the county of Anglacia, mariner who was drowned at this port on October 1818, aged 90 years. I don't know if that's a headstone for someone that died somewhere else. None of them areas sound familiar to me. That's St. Mark's Church on Pearse Street. A lot of these are damaged. It's 1848, this one. So, no matter where you are in Ireland, there will be a graveyard for me to find. And anyone watching this from the Pearse Street area or this part of Dublin, if there's anywhere that I should pop my head into sometime, do let me know. I'll go for a visit. So, St. Mark's City Church, there could be a non-denominational one. Dublin artwork. Trinity College Business School. That's some of the satellite colleges, satellite schools. Okay, Pearse Street's slightly longer than I remembered, or than I thought. Plenty of nice bars on this part of Pearse Street as you get closer to the city. There's also, I'm not going to highlight because there's some people sitting outside, but there's a homeless shelter, or at least a food bank here that does some great work for people in need. There's already people waiting here, so I'm going to turn it around because those people don't need to be blasted out on camera. But it's beside the National Drug Treatment Centre. I can't remember the name of the place. It's like put a name in case. Having a passing by, job care. So a place called the Lighthouse. So if you're in need or people are in need, they can go there. I've seen them. I don't know if it's a shelter where people can stay, but they definitely provide food and some medical supplies and sanitary supplies to people who need it. And it's 6 o'clock. I think they don't open till 8, and there's already people waiting there. So it goes to show you how much some people are stuck and in need. And then it's beside the very fancy the Trinity City Hotel, which is quite swanky looking on the inside. I was in there once, so it's quite nice on the inside. I really wish I could find a Pearse building so I can turn this camera off, because the sun is blinding me. Unless I just walk past it, which I might have. I did. I just walked past the building I was going to end the video on, so I'm going to end it here.